My friends, I don't consider it the least bit controversial to say that the government, the federal government, and to some degree state government, but government in general, is the adversary, many times the enemy of the American people, just as the media today, because of its deep connection with the Democrat Party, is also the enemy of the American people. For example, from the Star Tribune, a group that's building a border wall with private funds at the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas was told to halt construction, officials say. We Build the Wall, a Florida-based group that boasts $25 million in donations, wants to construct the fencing to support President Trump's efforts to create a barrier on the southern U.S. border. The group has already built approximately a mile of fencing in New Mexico near El Paso, Texas, the New York Times reported, unquote. But there's a government group that wants to stop them, that in fact has ordered them to stop building the wall. Folks, even with as many good things as Donald Trump has done, he's only one man. He doesn't control the government. He controls the executive branch. How much more, with all the 200 or 300 different things Trump has accomplished in only 3 years, how much more could he have accomplished for the American people if he had had a Congress, and courts for that matter, whose priority was serving the American people? How much more wall would we have? We would already have in place a replacement for NAFTA, a vast improvement on NAFTA, which Nancy Pelosi refuses to put up for a vote. We would have lower prescription drug prices already. We'd have a major infrastructure initiative going forward. We would have totally eliminated Obamacare and so many other things if only the members of Congress, I'm talking specifically about them, if only they would have remembered that they are servants of the people rather than an elite group whose mission is to serve themselves. It is a crying tragedy to think of all the problems in this country that are still going unsolved and all the suffering people who could have had their suffering alleviated if only the machinery of government had decided to work with this president instead of fight him every single inch of the way. It is a very real modern-day tragedy. Item from Yahoo.com. 2 gay Saudi journalists who sought asylum in Australia after being threatened at home over their relationship have been held for weeks at an immigration detention center, their lawyer said Wednesday. The couple arrived in Australia in mid-October on tourist visas, but was singled out by airport custom officials, then taken into detention when they admitted plans to seek asylum, lawyer Alison Battison told AFP, unquote. My friends, why are these gay journalists leaving Saudi Arabia when there is a fight to be fought for the rights of gays in Saudi Arabia? Item from Breitbart. A new regulation will allow U.S. border officers to send asylum seekers to several Latin American countries instead of being released into the United States. Reuters posted a report saying, quote, in a fast-track regulation set to publish in the Federal Register on Tuesday, the administration has created a framework that will allow asylum seekers to be sent to other nations that have negotiated bilateral agreements to accept them. Unquote. My friends, how much sense does this make? It makes all the sense in the world. It's exactly what's needed, and Barack Obama in 8 years never did it. George W. Bush never did it. Bill Clinton never did it. George H.W. Bush never did it. Finally, we have someone in the White House who represents we, the people. Item from Breitbart. The Greek Coast Guard has said more than 1,350 migrants arrived on various islands in the Aegean Sea over the weekend as tensions boil in the already overcrowded camps. The Coast Guard said they picked up a total of 658 migrants from Friday to Monday morning and added that another 730 migrants had managed to land on the coast of one of the Aegean islands near Turkey, newspaper Courier International reports. My friends, it seems that wherever you go in the Western world, unwanted, unasked for migrants are showing up from the third world. I don't wonder at the fact that these people are trying to get into the West. I get that. I don't get why the West is allowing them to do it. It is what will eventually prove to be a fatal mistake. Item from InfoWars: child sex trafficking investigators who are part of the task force looking into Jeffrey Epstein and his associates on behalf of the FBI's New York field office and NYPD have allegedly interviewed a man who claims former President Bill Clinton raped him when he was 8 years old. According to True Pundit, an FBI source said, quote, "We are treating him as a victim," unquote, before conducting the examination. Despite Jeffrey Epstein's suspicious death, the FBI task force established to investigate him remains active, with an FBI official telling True Pundit, quote, "We still have a job to do here, and that's what we're doing," unquote. My friends, did Bill Clinton rape this person when he was 8 years old? I have no idea. I don't know. But I will tell you quite candidly, it would not surprise me to find out that he had. Item from InfoWars: gay rights organization GLAAD is demanding Chick-fil-A further bend the knee after the fast food restaurant announced it would sever ties with charities deemed anti-LGBT. In a statement released Monday, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, that's GLAAD, called on Chick-fil-A to take further steps to show it's serious about cutting ties with what they call divisive anti-LGBTQ activists, unquote. My friends, this is the problem with selling out your values just to get good PR and money. In the end, you won't get either. The people who hate you. And even if you change your tune, they still hate you. Chick-fil-A went against its long-standing policy and decided to play the game, to get along to get along. And they decided, okay, we'll stop doing what we've been doing. We'll stop holding fast to our values and our belief and our morality. And they thought that the people at GLAAD would suddenly start to welcome and love them. Not the way the planet works. If you believe something in your heart, stick with it. It's Wednesday. Real truth. We'll be back.